Thank you, Chris. And good morning. Amongst other things, I'm the author of Equine Emergency Rescue. I'm also a director of Queensland Horse Council, responsible for large animal rescue in that state. For those who are not Australians, the first white settlers to this country were convicts. For the most part, those convict settlers were thieves. They were people who stole, who took things from other people. Some could say that those of us in large animal rescue in Australia are guilty of the same thing, because we have taken ideas, knowledge, techniques, world best practice, we've taken them, we've adapted them, and we've made them our own. The difference between us and those early settlers is that what we took was given freely to us. Are we okay? Yes. We owe a huge debt of gratitude to many people, the many people who have helped us, most especially to Rebecca and to Jim. Without those two people, there is no question that we would not be where we are in Australia today without them. I would like to add my personal thanks to these two people, these very inspiring people, both of whom contributed significantly to my book. And Rebecca, well, Rebecca had had no hesitation in travelling to the ends of the earth year after year after year to help us get started. Thank you. I also owe...
I wouldn't have done it if it hadn't had lamb involved.
And have you had lamb?
And wine.
And wine, and wine. My deepest thanks also to American author, educator, and my co-author, Michelle Staples. When Michelle learnt that I wanted to write a guide to large animal rescue for Australia, she gave me the manuscript for her own American guide. Now, this is unprecedented. I don't know any other author anywhere in the world who has actually given away a manuscript. Michelle said to me, "Take it, it's yours, take what you want from it." I did. I took what I wanted from it, I thanked her, and I used this forum here to thank her again publicly. Julie Fiedler, come on down. You're tired. Julie, for those of you who haven't met her, who don't know her, Julie is a force of nature. She's a human dynamo, and she's also the executive officer of Horse SA. Julie is one of my strongest supporters, and I thank you very much for that, Julie. She was the first person to buy my book. She bought in bulk, and she continues to sell many copies throughout South Australia. She was the first to organise training courses in Australia, and the first person to have the vision and the foresight to arrange a conference, an international conference on large animal rescue in this country. You're an inspiration, Julie, and you're a very hard act to follow. Thank you from all of us. You've done a great job. My home state these days is Queensland, and Queensland Horse Council is the peak body for the horse industry within that state. When I first published Equine Emergency Rescue, I approached the then President, Debbie Decker, and asked if the Horse Council would be interested in becoming involved with large animal rescue. Like Julie, Debbie instantly understood the importance of large animal rescue to the horse industry. But also she saw something in me that I hadn't recognised. And without her encouragement, her support, and serious arm twisting, I wouldn't have achieved what I have done this year, and I certainly wouldn't be here this morning. I began researching and writing Equine Emergency Rescue in 2008, the same time that Anthony Hatch applied for a Churchill Fellowship. Hatchie is in here, is he? Stand up, Hatchie, so people can see you. You'll be meeting Hatchie after morning.
Actually, that's why we've got the side cut off, mate, so we don't have to
Yeah,
see
that's right. We'll be meeting Hatchie after morning tea.
The hair looks awesome.
Back then, 5 years ago, Hatchie and I had not met. We didn't know each other, and it was pure coincidence that we started our large animal rescue journeys at the same time. Hatchie was awarded his Churchill Fellowship, And in 2009, he spent 3 months in the United States and the UK learning about large animal rescue techniques from the world's best. He spent 10 days with Rebecca, is that right? Yep. Then he went on to spend 8 weeks living with Jim Green and his family in the UK. And working day after day after day with Hampshire Fire and Rescue. Now, what better grounding could that be? On his return to Australia, Hatchie and David King from Hawkesbury SES and New South Wales Rural Fire Service helped me write chapter 2 in my book. That's the chapter for the incident controller. I published Equine Emergency Rescue in October 2010, and I invited Rebecca to come to Australia to launch my book at a horse expo called Equitana. Now, Equitana is the largest expo in the Southern Hemisphere. In 2010, I think 55,000 people walked through the gates in 4 days. I also arranged for Rebecca to do 2 demonstrations at Equitana, and you just never know who's going to be in your audience and the impact that may have on your life further down the track. Rebecca also then conducted Australia's first large animal rescue one-day awareness courses. Now we're still losing corner off that because, okay, can't do anything? Right. That says 2010 up there, okay. In 2011, the first rescue training mannequin arrived. This is Bruce, and he was purchased through Equine Veterinarians Australia and the pharmaceutical companies Troy and Provet. He lives just west of Sydney, and he's available for training for whoever wants him. Rebecca returned again in 2011. Julie Fiedler with Horse SA between 2011 and this year has conducted numerous information evenings for people, for anyone, emergency responders, horse owners, everyone. And she has reached around 400 people. That's a huge number. Sorry? Oh, Ben. Okay, right. And in 2011, Hawkesbury SES conducted its first 2-day Train the Trainers session for SES. 2012, Equine Veterinarians Australia, with the help of Christine Smith. Christine, would you like to make yourself known? You'll be meeting Christine again later. Began training equine vets, and they started with 1.5-day courses with the help of Anthony Hatch. So Hatchie and Christine go around the country training vets. The first 4 were held in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane and Perth. In a world first, Hatchie, you're going to hear you hear this name a lot today. Hatchie took a 1-day course down to Racing Victoria, and he did this course 4 days running for barrier attendance. This was prior to the start of the Racing Carnival and the Melbourne Cup. Now, no one else in the world has done this, and we... Sorry? No. Riley the mannequin arrived. Riley lives here. In 2013, large animal rescue in Australia absolutely exploded. We have the 3rd rescue training mannequin arrived in Queensland, purchased by Queensland Horse Council through a grant. The grant was so significant, it enabled us to establish a cache of equipment in Brisbane that is available for training anywhere in the state, and it's also available for rescues if it's needed. We also were able to start the Large Animal Rescue Roadshow, and as you can see, I've taken it throughout Queensland. You can't see the 3 on there, but I took it to New Zealand as well as New South Wales and Victoria. We were also able to gain a sponsorship through the Australian Trail Horse Riders, and that came as a direct result of Rebecca's very first presentation at Equitana in 2010. A director of AFTRA was at that demonstration, and she raised enough money to send the Large Animal Rescue Roadshow to remote areas in Queensland that we could never ever have afforded to get to. Peter Christoph and Hatchie, right, have developed a series of training courses run through Safety Access and Training. Massey University, Hayley Squance at Massey University invited me to travel to New Zealand to conduct three large animal rescue training courses. Hawkesbury SES acquired their mannequin. He's called Cecil, spelled S-E-S-I-L, which I think is really neat. And he's available for SES training in New South Wales. So if anyone in New South Wales wants SES training, go to Hawkesbury. Rebecca is here yet again for more training in New South Wales and Tassie. Fire and Rescue, Hatchie through Fire and Rescue has conducted about 20 one-day courses for Fire and Rescue. At each of these courses, 2 spaces are allocated for vets at no cost. Also, Christine and Hatchie went to Wagga to the vet school there and are starting to train vet students, which is phenomenal. When Hatchie wrote his Churchill Fellowship acquittal report, he laid out his 10-year plan, all the steps that he hoped to achieve in 10 years. Well, full marks to you, Hatchie, for achieving that 10-year plan in a fraction of that time. So where do we go from here? We must work together to maintain the momentum, to establish a national training scheme if we can, not just for Australia, but for Australia and New Zealand. We need your help to do this. If anyone has anything to contribute, any ideas, suggestions, please talk to any of us because we really value your input. Thank you.